Well, welcome everyone to our Spirituality and Aging podcast. And our goal is to share our own experiences and the things we've learned and try to help you open doors. We all have that potential within us, and sometimes the door's shut. So hopefully these things that we share help, and we would love to hear from you. Let us know, if it's helping and what you'd like to hear. So I'm Chris Jensen.
I'm Kathy Lee Taylor.
Today, I want to talk a little bit about what we can learn from children about healing our hearts and minds. People are always thinking about what they can teach children. But
They do teach us a lot.
yeah. And you may be thinking, well, this is an aging and spirituality podcast. You bet it is. And that's why the message of yoga and many spiritual paths is to become childlike at every age, not childish, childlike. So stay tuned if you want to find out how you can indeed have a happier life, better relationships, and tap deeper into that inner potential that you may have been ignoring. Okay, so what can we learn from children? Kids can teach adults so many valuable lessons about life, including how to be more adaptable, how to communicate better, and how to have fun. Sometimes we forget about that. We're so busy dealing with life, and it should be fun. There should be fun in there. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of these qualities. Adaptability. Children can easily adjust to new people, new places, and situations, which can remind adults to be more open to change. I mean, how open are you to change? Can you adapt? It's worth thinking about. Usually it's fear that keeps us stuck from moving forward into new adventures, new dreams, however big or small. I know people who stayed in jobs they hated for years because they were afraid of stepping out into something else. So later we'll share a yoga practice to help us overcome fear. That's just one of the things. Communication. Let's think about how children communicate their needs and feelings. I mean, it's very simple. It's very straightforward. They don't try to pretend. They fall and hurt themselves. They cry. They have a feeling. They express it. Before they can even speak, their gestures, their expressions, their actions. I had a pediatrician when my daughter was young. He said that babies learn to smile, so you want to keep them longer, because
it's a defense mechanism.
It's a defense mechanism, So how well do you communicate your needs and your feelings? I have a 2-year-old grandson. And so he's very clear, we were walking and all of a sudden he puts his arms out and he says, carry you. Because I've asked him before, do you want me to carry you? So he doesn't know me and you. So he puts his arms up and he says, carry you. I mean, he doesn't pretend that he has more energy than he does. And that's important for us. I mean, we tend to burn the candle at both ends very often. And pretend to ourselves that it's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you need someone to carry you, for a while. Maybe you need to chill out a little bit.
Yep.
Having fun. Children can show adults how to be carefree and find joy in small things. When's the last time you did something carefree? Just absolutely carefree. My grandson, he gets great pleasure from playing with a vacuum. He's absolutely fascinated with what it does and how it works. When is the last time you were fascinated with something, anything, especially something so simple? Part of the reason we don't get fascinated like that is we don't focus. We don't, we're doing this and a part of our mind's here and part of our mind's there and our heart's here and our heart's there. And all of that depletes our energy and our focus. That's one thing meditation is fantastic. Meditation will help you to just relax and be able to focus And once you start to focus a little more, then you're able to, have that fascination into the everyday things of life.
Yeah.
That opens the door to anything.
But you're focusing on the newness because oftentimes as adults, we already know, we see something and we go, I know that, like there's nothing, there's no curiosity there.
Right, right. But you don't know everything.
Yep.
You may think we do, but look at something, look at it like you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
That's a great technique. You just look at something like you've absolutely never seen it before. I mean, what is this? Being yourself. Now, this is a big one. Children can teach adults to be authentic and not try to be someone else. Kids aren't trying to fit the norm.
We wouldn't know how to.
Yeah, they don't even know what norm is,
Yeah.
And that's a big mistake we make as we get older, is we try to fit into whatever age or profession or category we're in. When I was younger, I had the feeling that I never quite fit anywhere. And for a long time, I tried to fit. It wasn't until after doing many years of yoga and realizing that I am different and I don't want to fit, but, but that was not easy
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
So who are you? What is it that you like? I mean, can you say in a group, or does your personality be like that chameleon, sort of blends in with whoever you're around? I mean, that's sometimes we do that for survival in a job, but
Yep.
I have found in jobs even that when you are really authentic, you know, the result is better and people respect you more when you're really yourself, even though you don't think that. So just being curious. Children are inquisitive. They ask questions about the world, and they really aren't worried about what anyone thinks about the questions they ask.
Right.
How open are you to asking a question about something? If you don't understand something, how willing are you to ask a question, even if it's something you think you should know? Oh, what's that? I don't know what that is. Someone I know told me that this person had gone to the hospital and they said, oh, it's just a rhinovirus. And I didn't know what that was. And I knew that nobody in the room really knew what that was. And nobody was going to say anything like they should
Yeah.
know, like it's a COVID deviant or something. And so I said, what is a rhinovirus? And the guy said, it's a cold. It's a cold.
The common cold.
Common cold. But, you've got to be willing to put yourself out there. You've been willing to make mistakes, because kids don't mind making mistakes. They'll fall down and pick themselves up again.
Yeah.
And being fearless. If you watch a child, you'll learn how to get back up after falling down. After something dropped in the room. But yeah, you'll learn that because they just pick themselves back up. They may cry let's say they fall down and skin their knee. They may cry for a minute, but they get up and then go back to playing. So we're going to do something to help with fear in a little bit, though. Seeking help. Children will be very quick to ask for help when they need it. Adults can learn from this. Most of the time, adults think they should know, or they don't want to ask for help. They want to be able to do everything themselves. It took me a long time to learn to ask for help. When I grew up, I was probably the most adult person between my mother and I. And I always felt like I had to be the person that solved problems.
To be the parent.
Yeah, to be the parent. It took me quite a while to know that, hey, you can ask for help. And it's a great thing. Be vulnerable, ask for help. So how did we lose all this good stuff? Why are we all like not being our authentic selves? And why aren't we curious and having fun with it? Well, there's a couple of things. There's that will help to heal both your mind and heart. One is guilelessness. Having guile is being cunning or sly. Ever made a mistake and then found somebody else? That's guile.
Yeah.
Children are born guile-free. We want others to think well of us, and we change our actions or our dreams based on what others think we should be doing. When we act with guile, we aren't truthful because we're concerned about what others think of us and the way we're being perceived, and we shift what's really going on. When we're truthful, when we accept responsibility for our actions, we free ourselves from limitations, and we are genuinely helpful to others and ourselves. Being free from guile has a lot to do with forgiving others. When we hold grudges or are angry at others, it's usually because we wanted something we didn't get, and we're afraid to truly be ourselves. I mean, every spiritual path talks about becoming free of guile. In yoga, Sri Ramakrishna, a very great yogi from the 19th century, I mean, that was one of the things he said, unless you become free from guile and childlike in that way, it's going to be very difficult to be enlightened. Jesus said, become like a child. They don't mean like being childish. They're talking about guile, becoming childlike, free of guile. And so I've got a couple things. I want to talk about some practices to overcome fear, and then I want to talk a little bit about shame. And maybe I'll talk about shame first and then go back. Shame plays a very big role in our lives, particularly in the context of so many experiences. Shame is a deeply ingrained feeling, making us feel unworthy and flawed. It's more than just guilt. It's a belief that we are fundamentally flawed. So by recognizing and naming this overlooked emotion, we can begin to understand its impact on us. So there is a really nice mindfulness meditation practice, and the person is Tovi Scruggs Hussein. And we'll put a link to her and her practice because I think it's really phenomenal for getting to help with racial issues, but it helps you get over anything. And the goal is to become a compassionate relationship with yourself, which can foster emotional intelligence and healing. It'll build your resilience. So I really recommend trying that out. I went through it myself and I thought it was wonderful. So now let's get back to fear. There's underlying all of this. I mean, shame is a biggie. When you can get through shame, you'll be able to get through fear. If you get through fear, it'll help you get through shame as well. So there's a practice that we can do. And we're going to do it for just a few minutes here, but I think you can spend some time with it. It'll help you overcome fear, and it'll be such a big breakthrough. Such a big breakthrough. So we just start with some spinal breathing. So start putting awareness at the base of your spine, nice deep diaphragmatic inhalation, letting the abdomen puff out, the ribs, the chest, and then exhale, going down the same way the chest goes in, the abdomen. So we'll do this. We're going to do this for a minute or two, and then we're going to imagine someone we haven't seen for 5 years. We walk in the room, someone we loved. We're going to throw our arms open to them, bring our awareness to the heart center. It's along the spine behind the heart or in the front, and just feel love. And then we're going to do a little expansion, and then we're going to bring our awareness to the navel, along the spine behind the heart. I'm sorry, behind the navel. Left hand over the navel, right hand over the left. And we're going to bring some courage there. This is a lot of steps. So we're going to do it fairly quickly. You can spend more time on it. So first, let's take a breath. Nice deep breath. One more. Someone you love, you haven't seen them in 5 years, they walk into the room, what do you do? Yeah. See them in 5 years, you love this person. And now you can bring your arms back to the heart center, feel the love. And then you can release your hands. Now we're going to, from this area, we're going to, as we inhale, just going to let some white or pink light expand out, and exhale, bring it back in. And we're going to do that for, a few times. Do it like 4 or 5 times. Just we've got this love from this person we didn't see for 5 years. Now we've got this love. We're going to go to the navel center, which is the center for courage. When it's tight, there's fear. When it's free, there's courage. We're going to put our left hand on our navel. And now, just as you inhale, bring that love you're feeling down to the navel center. Left hand on the navel, right hand over the mouth. Now let's do 3 or 4 breaths. We're just bringing the love from the heart to the navel center. Inhale, you feel that love in your heart. You exhale and you bring it down to the navel center. Okay, we just spent a few minutes doing that, but spend some time on it. As if you can let go of fear, it will help you to get free. And, when there's courage, you can also, as you're doing this, when your left hand's over the navel, right hand's over it, you can visualize a lion. A lion has a lot of courage. So when you've got free energy in that navel chakra, there's tremendous courage. And when you have courage, you can run around and play and have fun and experience, be curious and open to your potential. And if whatever you try doesn't work, you'll have the courage to get back up again. So I hope you'll think about these things. Observe little children. Observe them before we start turning them into, inauthentic people.
So I've had this experience recently just to tie up the idea of being authentic, because I'm in this writers group and I can tell everybody in it has the same experience. One of the exercises we had to do the other day was to write a bio. So we had to say, who we think we are, what is it that really interests us and piques our interest, what are our favorite words, that kind of thing. And I found myself making stuff up and I was like, this is bullshit. I'm just going to write what I really think and what's really true for me.
Yeah.
And if they think I'm some freaking weird old lady, that's their problem, not
okay.
mine.
That's right. That's their problem.
That's exactly what I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put it in the Slack group and I was like, babe, that felt good. That's who I am. And I'm not afraid to say it out loud. That's very much part of being childlike.
It is. It's great. I mean, and it opens the door, it opens the door to so, and there's a big healing in the mind and heart when we can do that.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So work with it. And if you're dealing with any kind of shame, which most of us are, try that meditation. We'll put the link in the show notes. It's very helpful.
Is that the Toby Scruggs one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very nice. She takes people through step by steps, about 10 steps. That's
very good.
It's 12 minutes, so it's not a lot of time.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to playing with this and being more childlike. I'm going to do it with the writing group. Like, I don't care who you think. I don't care what you think about me.
Yeah, me too. Me too. People try to limit us. They put us into an age category and think you should behave a certain way. And
well, that's exactly how I've been experiencing it. Well, you're this and this age. Shouldn't you be thinking about, it's like, screw off. I'm interested in a lot of things, like, my whole life I've been like that. Why would I change?
Why would you change now? Yeah.
Why would I try to pretend I'm something different now,
I was talking to someone just a day or two ago, And she told me that her daughter said, well, you're such and such age. She said, your hair should be gray now. And she said, no. I said, you're right. I said, gray hair is an option. Don't take it if you don't want it.
We have hairdressers.
That's what we have hair salons for. Yeah, keep them in business, right?
That's funny.
Well, I hope you have fun with this. I hope it's very healing. So thank you for joining us
There you
today.
go. We're already more childlike. See you
Yeah,
next
right.
week. Have fun.
Bye.
Yeah, we said it. It opens that inner potential. It opens up the things that we talk about all the time, living the best quality life that we possibly can. So, no matter what happened to you as a child, no matter what trauma you think is going on in there, your soul will help you heal it. It can do that. Hope it was helpful. Maybe we'll talk about it again in the future. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks for coming. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.